Hey, welcome everybody to Just Pure Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, you could say, put that spooky intro. Why spooky? Because hell's broken loose throughout Canada and the United States. There, where we go. And I'm saying not the population, but the governments. So just to
The
make
governments
sure,
are going a little wacko.
they're all wacko, and now the whole planet's gone wacko. So now we not only have a
It has.
Ukraine-Russian war. Now we have a how do you call it? A tariff war. So now everybody is like hitting it all over the place. So I think they all want. I think, and this is my point of view, Akai. I think they want the end of the world. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, it's so crazy to see the. I'll say it this way, okay? The childish behavior. You tariff me, I'm going to tariff you. You're going to take out the border. I'm going to take out the border because I need clean water. I'm this.
Unless you go to a one world government, which will never happen, and I hope it never does.
I hope it never does myself.
Um,
And
because I think we like being, like you like being Canadian, and I like being American. And we both enjoy our privileges of living in both those societies, in both those countries. And we're both very proud of that fact.
but we're both proud to be friends.
Yes.
And we're both
But
and when
we
I
don't
say
work for the
friends, I'm not
government.
just talking about you because we've been
We don't
friends
work
for
for the
so long
government.
now.
We don't work for the
I'm just
government.
saying that,
We're humans.
and I'm saying it the same way I'm saying it, like even from Ford or whoever. I love the American people. Okay. And I'm saying it because I hang around in the States, usually when there's not all that crap going on. I buy American when that crap's not going on. And obviously, because of all this trade crap, anyways, I can't buy anymore because it's going to cost me 25% more.
Well, and it wasn't equal at the start. That's why this stuff came in.
Well,
There were a lot of things that were off on both sides. Not saying one side's more to blame than the other. Like we can't, we could never import dairy and cheese products into Canada because they're tariffed at 300%.
who?
Yeah, Canada tariffs U.S. dairy and cheese at 300%.
Well, I'm not
Three
going to
hundred
argue with
percent.
you, but I haven't heard
I'm
this.
like, yeah, I found that today. I was like, what? Okay,
No,
well,
no.
but there's different products, and but let me get to the point of this though is the reason we governments put tariffs on the products is to protect our country's people so that there's jobs for farmers. Because if we were to ship in super cheap dairy, then the dairy farmers in Canada would shrink and go away, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
so Canada wants to keep that around because it's a national security thing. Food security is a national security thing. So I understand why there's tariffs and blocks on certain goods that you can't import certain goods into countries. It's because we're trying to protect the people in our countries. We're trying to keep those jobs in our countries.
How long? I got a question for you.
I don't know how long this is
Okay.
going to
And let's
last.
talk knowledge. Let's talk knowledge a bit. How long has it been that the northern part of the planet, we're talking about North America, the whole
Okay.
shebang, have been trading together?
Oh, hundreds of years.
Okay. So why do I keep hearing all of that? And I don't want to go on a debate too much on it, but why do I keep hearing that we're doing this to bring down so it's bullying. There's bullying in the back of all this. We're not. It's not like we want to. There's the excuse. Or wait, the reason maybe. I'm just trying to say it well. Okay. Of saying, well, we want to bring jobs back. but we're going to tariff the hell out of Canada, bring them down so they become the 51st state. Why does he want us to be the 51st state? Absolutely, because he still talks about it. And
Oh, that was the other news
hearing you
article.
talk about the 51st state. We are never going to be a 51st state. And I don't care if you're listening.
Hold on a sec, sir.
Nada.
Hold on a sec. There is a delegation coming down from Alberta this week to talk to Trump about becoming the 51st state.
No.
Yes.
You guys are getting the wrong.
I'm telling you. I found the news article. I'll see if I can dig it up here real quick.
No, Kai.
It's not a BS news article. It's not a BS news article. It was a legit news article, and I'm looking at this thing, and I'm like,
no.
What's happening here? Well, here's the other thing. Did you see what happened in Greenland?
Yeah.
Greenland is voting to become their own independent country. They want to break away from the Danish government.
Yeah. And they don't want the Americans.
No, and I get that. Yeah. They want to be their own autonomous thing, and I get that. I probably would prefer to be that anyways. But
yeah. But I've been listening, Akai, to the news the whole day because I'm directly connected.
Oh, that'll make your brain melt, dude.
Yeah, well, I do. I know.
It'll make blood shoot out your eyes. It's so stupid.
Luckily that I work, so it keeps me off. Like I just listen, and the Canadian strategies these days, especially with our beautiful, what's her name, Melanie, or something like that. There's no question of that. So if there's a delegation, there is going to be. They are going to go to the States. They are going to be talking about it, but there's no delegations of what's going to happen being a 51st state. It is obviously said through the whole of Canada, all provinces, that no one's interested in being the 51st state. They want to negotiate. They want to try to settle
this.
What's going on.
And I'll give you this article. I'll give you this link here, which has all the Google. You can click on all of them.
And if you remember, I don't know, because I've seen that you've not read anything that I sent you, so you must.
I did.
The one article
I've been
about
reading
one of the journalists.
I watched this Trump Zelensky tussle.
Yeah. Okay.
Email. I read that.
I translated it for you.
No, and I appreciate it because I don't read French very well.
No, that's why.
Like a baby.
No one. So, ladies and gents, what we're talking about again, because we all know that everything that we're listening to lately on the news is all about Trump taking he needs attention.
Well,
he needs attention.
And is it because he needs attention?
Losing his popularity, but
is it
tell me no.
Is it because he's losing his attention?
His rankings?
Or is it because the people just can't believe he's there in all these other countries and keep providing him the attention?
No.
If they would just shut up and sit down and stop reporting on him in the newspaper, he would go away.
No, I know, Kai. I know.
But the everybody wants to give him free advertising, and you give.
No, and I'm right with you. I'm with you. I'm with you on it. That's what I believe. But the problem is, if someone would come to your house and would start bullying you and tell you, I'm going to get a gun, I'm going to freaking get you out of that house. You're going to go to your armory and you're going to take 2 guns. And you're going to say, buddy, you're not going to take over my house. See? And that's what's happening. I'm tariffing you. Then Canada says, okay, now it's true because it wasn't true for 2 months. So now it's true. Okay, so we'll tariff you. Well, you're tariffing me. I'm going to tariff you in double. So now it's just being
the tariff on the double.
Sorry, you too.
The tariff double thing. And there's a little bit more to that. I can't remember what position he is in Ontario, but he's high up in the government.
Ford, Doug. Ford, the one that cut the electricity off.
That wanted to cut the electricity off. And when he said
He's
that,
he's
Trump
the
was
prime
like, "Fine,
minister.
cut the electricity, and we're going to double your tariffs."
No, he's the premier of Ontario.
Premier of Ontario. And now here's my question: if you're running a country, are you going to get your electricity from somebody else that's not in your country?
Hey,
hell no.
No,
That's a national security thing. Why the hell are we getting? I love you guys.
Sure.
I love Canada. Don't get me wrong. I love Canada. Love it. But why am I going to? And it's not like it's been done over the last couple years. We've been doing it for over 100 years.
No.
For over 100 years, Canada and the United States has had that trade relation just with electricity.
I could tell you why. It's because you guys cannot. You're overproduce. You cannot overproduce electricity, and Canada, well, Quebec, especially in Ontario, have a lot of water territory.
Yeah,
so they have a lot of hydro. They have a lot of hydros. Not too long ago, there wasn't any main electricity lines going to your place. It's the Americans. It's negotiations. We're not there.
Yeah, it's out of our control. There was
negotiations of, hey, New York needs more power, and we can't produce it as Americans. So, can you help us out? And
they could.
And we're selling it cheap. We are selling it cheap to the United States.
That was the thing. It was cheaper to run transmission lines than it was to build a power plant, and that's why they did it.
No,
but
that's what I'm telling you. What we're selling electricity to you guys, we know it's cheaper for the Americans.
We also have a problem in this country.
No,
and it's called the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, which stops us from building almost any facility that's going to help people out, such as power plants, such as, whatever. If you got to build something that's going to be a municipality grid item like gas or electric or whatever, it'll take you 10, 20 years just to get the paperwork through for the environmental study before you can even, and that's on a set of blueprints that are now 20 years old and outdated that you can't update, because if you update to put the new hardware stuff in that you're going to be putting into this power plant, now you got to go back through the environmental study again, which another 20 years.
But
our own government is our own worst enemy.
No, no, there's people that passed laws and there's people that proved it. Don't forget, there's two parties that approved it. I mean, some didn't. Some did.
That's why I said the government. I mean,
the government's all about the manpower. It's all about the government. I'll say the government, okay? It's all about the government. So, I mean, were there good decisions? Were there not good decisions? Well, there were maybe some decisions that were not made well, and some were made well. And today we're witnessing a lot of stuff that is not being well managed. And then they all have to say, excuse me, all the time. And we're seeing a lot of nonsense. I mean, I'm seeing it out with different media.
Yeah, and I see it with a different. I read a lot
with the European media, because I listen to the European media, I listen to the Canadian media, and I listen to the American because I have the opportunity.
They're all pissed off. They're getting tariffed too.
CNN, I have CNN and Fox, but you're going to tell me it's all crap. So,
but no, a lot of these EU governments and all these other countries are all pissed off that they're getting tariffed, but they tariff the snot out of us when we try to import goods into their country. And we're charging them like 3 to 10%.
See,
and I'm like, and Trump's like, no, 25% across the board. Screw you. We're done. Come negotiate. That's what he wants. He wants you to come negotiate.
No, I know, because that's the person he is.
And Canada and the U.S. are going into a negotiation thing next month with Mexico. It's the NAFTA re-up thing.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure next month it'll all get hashed out somehow.
But that's what we want.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants. But
I
think Trump wants it to be. Trump just wants it to be echoable for the country.
No, for sure.
And I can understand that.
there's interest. He has interest in having that. There's something in the back end of all this. You don't destroy things that's been done over 100 years of negotiations, and a lot of the big great leaders that you guys had in the States that have negotiated all this got back into a peace with the world and all that, and then he's like fucking destroying. Man, I'm swearing tonight. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I swear.
He's smashing everything up. So there's some personal reason in the back end. We don't know.
Well,
but
there's a lot of things he's done, like Ukraine, for instance. I don't know what Biden promised Ukraine.
Okay. It's good you're going there because I have something for you on that.
I don't know what Biden promised Ukraine. But Biden's not in charge anymore. Donald Trump is. And if Donald Trump doesn't agree to it, it's like having a military commander come in and go, "Hey, I know Captain so-and-so did it this way before, but I'm the new captain, and we're doing it this way now. And we have to follow the new captain's orders." Mm-hmm. We can bitch and complain all we want, but, now Trump's like, "Hey, if you want our aid, you're going to pay us back because it's a lot of treasure out of our chest."
Okay. So I've read something on this, Akai.
Okay.
And you know that me and you, we look through all this. Mm-hmm. I have a difficulty with that because I'm going to tell you one thing.
Why?
Trump wants to have the money back. When 911 came up, when your towers went down.
Yeah, 9/11. Okay.
9/11. Yeah, sorry. I said 911, 9/11. Well, it's the same thing, but
same thing.
Better saying 9/11.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 9/11 came up. Americans got support and money to reinstate, help, build, and from I don't know how many countries that gave a lot of billions of money. I have the stats somewhere. They're in my computer, so I forgot to take it out. Okay. But there was a lot of European countries that gave money. Canada, England, UK, I should say, sorry. That gave a lot of billions of money and never asked a penny back. Never ask a penny back. Yeah, I know you're looking into this, but they ask a penny back. So we got this on an end, and then we're looking at Trump saying, "You're going to pay me back." And then we're saying all countries help each other out. All countries. But I just keep hearing that Trump says everybody owes us money. No one's paying us. No one respects us. No one's this. And then I'm going, what the hell is going on? And then I read that article, and that's the article on the 911, 9/11. Sorry,
yeah,
911. So I'm going
just terrorist financing.
No, I know, but it's just so that there's a lot of nonsense. And
Canada's going to get paid back on some of their stuff.
What?
Did Canada give all their aid to Ukraine for free?
I didn't hear no one's getting paid back. And
I know the UK is getting paid back. I know France is getting paid back. People in the EU are getting paid back.
He had a discussion, and he said Trump was at, I don't know if it was at the White House or if it was in Europe when Macron put his hand on his not his elbow, but on his arm to stop him, because that's what he was trying to say. Lately, what I've been hearing is they're giving the Russian assets that were seized. They're giving it to the country. So Russia's financing. Russian assets are financing Ukraine. But I'm not saying they didn't give any money. They did say that there is a kind of a return in investment. They did say.
Well, whose Russian assets are financing?
No, they've every country seized so many millions of Russian assets because they were all over the place.
Yeah, but it's whose assets? Was it Russia's, or was it Russian businessmen?
The Russian businessmen that were when they seize money, it's because
I'm telling you what, I would be so pissed if I was a Russian businessman and you fucking took my bank account. Yeah. You know what? I'm hiring fucking hitmen. You will pay me back.
Yeah, but that's you being aggressive.
No, that's theft. Just because I'm a Russian businessman does not make me in the same lump
No, but there's a reason
as
these
Putin.
assets were seized. They're not seized by every damn Russian. They're seized because they were implicated in something.
Yeah, they were a Russian businessman. Like all these yachts these people were getting taken. Oh, you're a Russian nickel miner, and you made billions by owning all the nickel plants. We're going to take your boat.
But the thing is,
I don't agree with that.
Me and you, yeah. I mean, if you're implicated with Putin, and Putin, I read an article today while Trump is talking to the Irish Prime Minister or Minister, whatever they call him. He was saying, Putin's going to give a positive response, and an article just popped out, maybe not even like maybe half an hour after, saying that Putin is not going to go with Trump. He's not stopping. He's not this. He's not that. So I just can't wait to see when Trump's going to go there. But I know Trump did say something. If Putin's not working, then he's gonna start. He's gonna get messed up in this. That's for sure. So because I know Trump has a heart. Okay. Look.
Yeah.
Me and you, we can talk about it for so long. I'm totally not agreeing with a lot of stuff that he's doing as a Canadian. And I totally not agree with what's going to go off with all this.
I just don't know how you're going to help Ukraine.
No, but with all
without,
the economy,
without putting troops on the ground.
How many Canadians and American mid-salary, I don't know if you got how you say it there, are going to have freaking problems, and the economy crash that's going to happen because you're going to have a recession, and we're going to have a recession. Is that really going to help? All the billionaires are going to be okay. There's going to be a recession.
I do not see a recession coming. A lot of people have talked about a recession coming. But then a lot of the bigger wealth advisors and stuff like that are saying, no, there's no recession coming. We're going to be perfectly okay.
We're talking about when everything is going to be tariffed. Okay?
Not even when everything's
when
your
lumber is going to go up. Your lumber is going to go up 25%. Everything's
my lumber is going to go up 25%. The steel and aluminum is going to go up 25%. But you know what?
Jobs are going to be missing. Your jobs
now the guys in Pueblo that make steel will be able to compete. And Americans will buy Pueblo-made steel in Pueblo, Colorado, instead of steel from Japan, China, and Canada. And the guys in Pueblo will have more work, more money, spend more of their extra income because they're getting extra hours because they're having to produce more steel.
Yeah, but the main product comes from Canada. 60% of the aluminum comes from Canada.
Yeah.
The product. Just the product.
The ore. I get that.
And the metals and the minerals, or whatever you call them.
A lot of our
build your tanks and your Jeeps and all the military equipment comes from Canada.
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of stuff that comes from Canada, and
if you guys don't,
we're going to have to pay a premium on it because you guys have it. But in turn, by us buying it from you, gets your miners and your workers to work there, which then in turn, lets them buy stuff at the grocery store and the electronics store and the food store, and provides work for them.
Totally.
So. Then the government makes a 25% kicker on it. And this big thing about with Ontario kicked off over because they're like, hey, we got some plants here that they send a part up here to get some work done on it. And then it gets sent back across the border. That plant does work on it. And then it gets sent. And some of these parts are going back and forth across the border 5 or 6 times before they're finished. And I'm like, well, that just sounds stupid to me. And so what's going to happen is either a plant's going to close or plants are going to be doing their own stuff in-house.
Yeah.
Because of the cost of the tariffs. The cost of the tariffs makes it too expensive.
Yeah.
You know, we've had high tariffs before. This is not our first rodeo at this.
No, not at all.
You know, a lot of this stuff, you know, started opening up with NAFTA, and we were doing trade deals with all kinds of countries. And then there were still countries that were screwing us over, like China. You know, you can't import right in Japan.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, totally. And again, you know.
I mean, so do you want fair trade with, and here's what I need to ask. Here's the question.
This is negotiated by Trump and the countries, by the way.
Yes, not negotiated by us, but this is all theoretical. As a leader of a country, and you're a leader of Canada, I'm the leader of the United States, and we want fair trade, right?
Yeah.
Do we have tariffs?
Yeah.
How much is the tariff going to be?
Well, it depends on what we do, yeah.
Are we going to put just a blanket tariff on everything, or are you still going to block me from importing cheese to your country?
No, I mean, technically, and I understand where you're going with this. Technically, I don't even understand why there's some limitations, except for maybe products that might be fed differently, like your chickens. Like all
the antibiotics and crap that they put in meat here. That's just
and then they make them eat shit and all that, and all that crap. And then they blow them up with a freaking blower. I seen fucking videos of blowers. They blow up the chickens. It looks good. Then they put them in Javel.
Yeah, who knows?
But I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff like that because I, you know, I'm not saying it really happens. I mean,
it does happen.
Videos.
It does happen.
No, I know, because I know they blow up the chickens. That's one thing. But they pump, like in Canada, they don't do that.
Like when you go to the grocery store and you buy a steak, and that sucker's bright red, and you take it home, you throw it in the fridge, and 3 days later you pull it out, it's bright red.
It's not good.
It's only that way because they chemically treated it to be that way. Because I'm going to tell you right now, being a hunter, that stuff turns brown.
Yeah. It's brown.
It's brown. The meat will turn brown.
Or they'll use coloring.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget, I've been in the grocery department, so I don't say they're doing it in Canada, putting coloring, but you know, I mean,
they might be. Who knows?
There's a lot of tricks.
That's what they do with farm-fed salmon. Farm salmon.
I have to reload.
Yeah.
That stuff's dyed to look red.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard about that.
If not, it comes out like anemically white. It's weird. Not kidding.
I know.
And then everything underneath the salmon raising pens is a wasteland.
Yeah. But you know what? At the end of the day, you know, we're having fun here because we're both buddies, just to make sure everybody, no one's getting mad at each other. We just like to exchange and send. That's why we call this show Just Pure Talk.
I was supposed to say something.
You forgot to say something. So yeah, no. So for people that are listening to us at the moment that don't know our show, well, I'm DJ Verm or Verm that we right now. I'm Verm from the Canadian part, and we got a guy that is my buddy for the past 12 to 15 years, I think now. We're not even counting anymore. We're like an old couple. So yeah, more friendship, friends from Canada and United States. And one day we will meet. One day we will meet. We'll see which one's going to come down first.
I'm kind of curious to see what this delegation is going to do from Alberta.
Well, you'll see.
I wonder if it's a gag thing. Like these guys are like, hey, we can get together, say we're a delegation. We just want to go meet Trump.
Well, that might be something like that because I'm surprised to hear that. I know one thing, that Alberta has always been a little bit different from the rest of Canada. Don't forget, Alberta has the oil. So
they say it's the Texas of Canada.
Yeah. And I'm going to say no, but would Alberta want to become a state?
Who knows?
But I mean, it has to go through the whole shebang. But is it what is it what you read? I mean, I
And
can't.
I don't
I
know.
can't say no.
And what I'm reading here, it says people are upset and people don't want this and don't want that, and they want to have more freedom.
Yeah.
But because what did
Ragnar,
Canada just do last week? I saw it. Ragnar just put stay Canadian.
Yeah, Ragnar just wrote stay Canadian. Well, you should have said stay Canadian verb, but yeah,
No.
stay Canada verb. I hope you're not nagging me, Ragnar.
No, because Ontario wouldn't become a state.
No.
If anything, if Ontario had its choice, this is what I think personally. I may be wrong. You can tell me if I'm wrong or not. I think if Ontario had its choice, it would be its own country.
Big arena.
Okay.
Because they've fought so hard. They've been fighting for years to become their own country.
No,
And
not Ontario. We're really talking about Alberta and Quebec.
Is it Quebec?
It's Quebec.
It's
You're
Quebec
getting
that's
mixed
been
up.
fighting.
It's
I'm
Quebec.
getting it mixed up. Sorry. Quebec
No,
wants
us.
to be their own country.
It's us. In the 80s,
Because I remember
late 70s.
I remember seeing the news articles when I was living overseas, and they were having votes on it. And
yeah, Quebec wanted to separate and become its own country. It's Quebec.
So it's Quebec.
Alberta.
I get.
And I'm not saying Alberta wants to. I'm just saying there's a hereabout that Alberta maybe wanted to. But I mean, technically, because Alberta is kind of different a little bit from everybody else. They're the rich province. But I mean, mainly the battle in Canada was all about Quebec because the people wanted to separate from Canada in the 80s when it was René Lévesque that was our prime minister of Quebec, or premier, like Trump says, of Quebec.
So what's the difference? So what's the difference between a province and a territory?
Territory, I think.
So like
you're making me go back to my geography.
I am, and
the Northwest Territory. That means on top. Yukon,
yeah, and like Yukon is a territory. Northwest Territories again.
Province is all the other ones at the bottom.
Okay, and then Newfoundland and Labrador is that a?
I like what he wrote.
I want Canadian whiskey and Canadian maple syrup and Canadian poutine. Agreed. And if I have to pay a 25% markup because I'm in America when I go there to eat it, I'll be upset, but I'll still pay it.
I will correct something from Ragnar. Ragnar's right about Canadian because Quebec's in Canada, but I mean it would be Quebec poutine because the reason why poutine's top notch here in Quebec, it's not a Canadian thing, but it's a Quebec thing. But yes, we're Canadian, so I could say that it's okay. But poutine, because I mean, if you go in some other provinces, you might be disappointed in the poutine because they'll do it with mozzarella cheese. They'll do it, it's like they're trying to copy, but it's like in the States that cheese curbs like we got are not always cheese curbs in different states, because there's a lot of Quebec people that started franchises of food trucks and stuff like that in Quebec. In the States, and when they do poutine, they have to get the cheese from Canada.
So Ontario is the big.
Yes.
Is the most populated.
It's the most popular, but Quebec is the biggest province.
Yeah, and Quebec in 2024 in their census had little over 9 million.
Yeah, we're about 7 million, if I'm sure.
7 million? Now?
Wow.
How'd you lose 2 million?
No, did you say we're at 9 million? Quebec?
9 million says it says Quebec in 2024, quarter 3 of 2024 was at 9 million.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm getting mixed up. Yeah. I'm getting mixed up, okay.
But Prince Edward Island, 154,000.
Yeah, but there's some parts of the territory of Quebec that are not livable. It's like Alaska. Not Alaska. But
Well, it's livable. Just people don't want to live there
no, because I mean
it's
it's ice.
cold and it's icy, and it's nobody wants to live in that Arctic condition all the time. It's
No.
you're there's parts of Canada that are well above the Arctic Circle, and in fact, that's one of the trips I want to take. Is I want to drive the Arctic Circle and go up to like Yellowknife in my truck.
You want to do the Alaskan one.
Yeah, I just want to go through, but I got to go through Canada. No choice.
Yep.
Unless Alberta, the Northern Territories, and the Yukon decide to become states.
Yeah, exactly.
Which then Verm goes, "You're a dick." Because that'll never happen. This is it. Verm goes, "You're a dick."
Been there, done that. Oh, Ragnar went there.
He did it on Harleys.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Ah.
Him and my dad. Yep. They did a true iron ass ride that year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they all the way up to the Northwest Territories, all the way up to the farthest point of the road could take you, and then all the way back to where they lived. Took their bikes into the shop, and then came, then drove all the way out to the East Coast where I was stationed, and then fiddle farted around on the bikes, and yeah. They went to a lot of places. They went to Sturgis. They went, oh man, just a huge time of riding motorcycles, which is awesome.
Yeah. So now what can we talk about that's more interesting in the Terra Force?
Then what? Then Terra Force?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. So you got Terra Force going on, and then I guess
we could talk about that.
Ukraine is losing territory in the stuff they took from Russia, but then they might be gaining some territory back in other places. U.S. is giving aid back to Ukraine. I did see something about a possible 30-day ceasefire.
Yeah, because of the ceasefire. Yeah, the Ukraine got Ukraine approved. Ukraine accepted the proposition of Trump for that ceasefire for 30 days. Now they're waiting to see if Putin's going to get into this, because it's now in the hand on the ball's in the camp of Putin.
Me as Putin. Yeah. Here's my problem with the ceasefire.
Putin because I love it because it's Putin.
Here's my problem with the ceasefire. It gives me 30 days to dig in even deeper and harder.
Yeah, exactly.
And it'll solidify the lines. It'll give me time to bring ammo forward. It'll give me time to do all this stuff that I couldn't do before, mine clearing, all that stuff, reinforcing the border, moving troops, getting wounded out. Man, I just don't know.
I don't believe
I think it'll make it a more entrenched war.
Yeah.
And I'm really surprised at Ukraine's ability to do what they've done so far against a superpower like Russia.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's why I keep saying, that's why I was insulted when they were nagging him at the Oval Office. Because, I mean, who could stand up for more than 3 years? I mean, I'm talking about the country, the people, the population, the army. Who can stand up for more than 3 years to uphold against Russia, who is supposed to be one of the biggest armies? I mean, superpowers.
Well,
and
you got World War I, World War II. All kinds of countries stood up against each other for many years.
Yeah.
But
they thought there was a bet that Ukraine would be take over not even a week. There was a bet that came out. A lot of countries said is going to be taken over. And how many? And
I don't understand how you could have as if I was in the Ukrainian Defense Force, I'm just saying if it was me, and I'm a Ukrainian soldier, right?
Yeah.
And this whole thing's starting off, and I got convoys of Russian military equipment coming across the border. Dude, we're going to war.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to be here. You're invading our country. Get the hell out. Turn around. I'd have been out there blocking roads. What are you doing? That way, you're not freeing us from anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And they let them come into the country so far, totally unopposed.
Yeah.
And it screwed them hard, and they've been fighting ever since to get those little pieces back.
So, excuse me, Akai, I'm just going to cut you off for 1 second. I just want to, I know we have some people writing to us at the moment, and I'm really proud. Thank you very much for joining our show. Thank you very much for, typing out, writing to us. I've seen someone asking me, add me to Discord to join your live stream. Whenever you are streaming, my username is, anyways, everybody sees it. Apply to LPV podcasts at outlook.com. Give me a little bit of history of who you are, because when you're inviting yourself that way, if we decide to invite you and you're a hacker, we don't need this. We've got nagged a couple of times in some podcasts, and Akai could approve this. So the thing is, I'd proudly invite you, but I don't know who you are really. And I need to say it up front because there's so much things going on in the hacking industry that we don't need that at our show. Okay. So if you're really serious and you want to join our show, write to LPV podcast at outlook.com. Give me a little bit of, background of who you are. And me and Akai will look through this and we'll invite you in our Discord, because we're not shy to invite people in our Discord. But sometimes there's so much crap going on when people text, especially, when we don't know who you are really. So, we'll be pleased to talk with you. I'm sure you must have a lot of great things. It's not the first time you write to me. I think it's Slim 19 Gamer. So, look, I'll be pleased to join you, but, write to LPV podcast at outlook.com. And if you want to join us, give a little debrief and we'll get you in. Akai's not shy to talk, and I am not either. So, well, thank you for the interest. Let's continue. I just wanted to say it out loud.
Yeah, so we could also talk about what's going on over in Israel. That's contentious and touchy.
You know what? We haven't really heard too much about them lately. I think so much crap is going on that
there was a student here that's getting deported.
Fighting?
There's a student here.
Fighting?
Yeah, they're still fighting.
Okay.
They're going in house by house, building by building, and clearing it. There will be nothing. There will be nothing left in Gaza standing. I suspect by the time they're done.
So are they going to give it to the Americans?
I don't know who they're going to give it to.
No, but didn't Trump want it? Trump wanted to have.
Well, and here's the thing: the more research I do into this whole Palestinian-Israel thing, so Israel was actually kicked out of that area. The Jews were all kicked out back during the Romans, and then they called it something Palestonia or something like that, just to kind of make fun of the thing. And then actually that land was owned by the British. This is kind of the real condensed version of all this. And that land was owned by the British. And after World War II, when they were going to give it to the Jewish people back, they only gave about 12% of that land back to the Jews of their ancestral lands. The rest went into Jordan, Syria, and all those places. And the British government installed a family, I forget what their name is, that can trace their lineage all the way back in the Arabic things to like Muhammad. And they could trace it all the way back to then. And this is like the very condensed, very dumbed version down. But But every time the Palestinians talk about we want our land back, they're only talking about the land that Israel controls. Palestine, Palestinians, and you could do the research to back it up, have never had a country, have never had a king, a queen, a diplomatic leader. It's never been a functional government with a country. It's just a, I guess you could call it a culture, maybe. I don't. If you're trying to say something, I can't hear you. Nope, totally dead. So, yeah. So I hear something. Oh, there you are.
Hey, I'm back.
So I didn't catch what you were saying when I was saying that stuff. So, and when you lob destruction at a people for so long, they're finally going to get fed up and they're just going to say, nope, we're done until we root out all of it. They don't want one single rocket left in that country to be launched back towards Israel when they're done.
Okay.
So can you hear? Yeah, you're broadcasting now.
That's weird.
It was weird, man. It cut out. Maybe they hacked you.
Okay. There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to change the wiring on my things.
Is that the same one that's been giving us issues?
No, but I think I'm realizing that the XLRs are maybe getting tired a little bit. I'll put some.
Oh, because you pull those out when you go to do your shows, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, these are the XLR ones. Yeah.
And so Israel's fed up. The other countries don't want them. The other Arabic countries don't want Palestinian refugees. That's got to tell you something.
Yeah, where they are now. Why are they're not there anymore if everything's blown up?
Well, they're pushing them to the other side of Gaza. You want to live? Go that way. You know, but Egypt doesn't want them. Syria doesn't want them. Jordan doesn't want them because they're so radicalized by Hamas. You know, where are you going to put them?
Yeah. It's crazy, eh?
I got a feeling that it's going to lead to a genocide.
Are you serious?
I just have that weird feeling, man, that, you know, people are not going to take them. And it's going to be like, look, we don't want them here either. So we're not going to care for them either. We'll lock them up in this little corner of the country and they can figure out where they're going to get food and water, but it ain't from us. We're done. Not our problem.
No, you know one thing, okay. It's boring to see the situation, but I mean, it's not all the population that is bad.
No, it's not all the population, but you know.
So are they going to be like, how do you call them? Not hippies.
I think there's a lot of good people over there.
Well, that's what I think too.
And it's the people that are in charge of the Hamas and the terrorist organizations that are running over there that drag their people in with them.
Yeah.
They don't know any different because they're telling you what media and what news you can listen to. They're telling you what TV shows you can listen to. If you ever watched Hamas kid shows?
No.
Oh my God, dude. It's the most racist crap you've ever seen in your life.
I don't know. Never seen.
It is. It's just like,
I
kill these group, kill that group, slaughter this group,
Okay.
It's bad. And when you get brought up that way your whole life, when you get brought up to hate everybody,
Mason, join mine. Mason, join mine.
you don't.
I'm at the start.
It's not good. It's hard to break that cycle of hate.
Yeah.
Somebody has to show you a lot of love in order for you to break that cycle of hate.
Mason, did you find me?
Wow.
I'm at the start, kinda.
It's been done. But,
Yeah.
you're looking at another 20, 30 years of social programming of love to bring that people. No, you are.
Yeah.
Bro.
So here's
Mason, work on it.
it just popped out of my head. Okay. I got a good question for you. Now that we got so many countries that are blown up, like Ukraine, like Gaza, who's going to pay to rebuild everything?
No, don't.
Well,
don't.
When Hitler destroyed
I'm-
mainly everything,
I'm
it's
not
the Germans that
financially
paid for all that.
responsible. I am not financially responsible to rebuild that country. Yeah, anyway.
No.
And are the Israelis financially responsible to rebuild the
No,
West
you can't
Bank?
read the minds unless you read the game.
Not West Bank, but Gaza. Originally, they built it to start with. They're the ones that paid for all the infrastructure. They're the ones that paid for all the thing. And then all the money that the PLO and Hamas and all those groups that when they were doing all their little shadow financing things were getting wasn't going to help the people. It was going to buy rockets and rocket launchers and AK-47s and build tunnels. And, I think if they would have redirected that wealth
No, Mason.
into living a peaceful life and, let's learn how to farm our land. Let's learn how to store water. Let's learn how to, do solar and wind. And I mean, the amount of money alone that some of our countries were giving those people.
Yeah.
They could have done so many amazing things. They were getting billions of dollars a year from all over the globe. And who was that? Was it Asser Arafat? Was that the guy that led the PLO?
Yeah.
Was that him? Multi-millionaire. I think his family lived in Paris. They didn't even live in Gaza.
Yeah. That's crazy. It's disappointing.
But they're not the only ones that have done it. I mean, we've given tons of money. Canada's given tons of money. The UK has given tons of money to all these countries, and they just throw it in their face. Use it to fight against that country that's giving them money. And I think, here we go, circling back towards tariffs. But I think that's part of that whole thing. Well, what we've been taken advantage of, our good nature. And so now we're not going to be so kind with all this stuff. Me as a voter, I don't want to give any country money. Because is Canada in debt?
Hey, are you almost seated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Don't worry, we're in debt, but don't forget we don't got the same population.
Yeah, your debt is minuscule. That's a fart in the wind.
Yeah, but Kai, we don't got the same population. How many are we in Canada?
1.5 billion.
Okay, and how many are you in the States?
37 trillion.
Okay, so do you see a difference in expense?
In debt.
No. I mean, no, in population. I didn't talk about debt.
Oh,
What is the population?
I
of the state?
I think the population of, let's go by state. What's the population of Canada?
No, you can write it down. Population of Canada, population of the States. Tell me how many people are in the States, how many people are in Canada.
So there is 40.1 million people in the country of Canada.
Yeah. And not the 50.
You ready for this? You ready for this?
Yeah.
California alone has 39.2 million.
See?
Yes, but the fact that your national debt is in the billions, which is phenomenal. Do you want that? You want it to be zero, but we're at 37 trillion, dude.
I know.
You know how many billions are in a trillion?
I know, a guy.
And then we got 37 of those suckers.
Yeah.
And every day it's just going.
Same thing for us.
Yeah, yours is going a lot slower. I wonder if there is a debt clock for Canada. Hold on.
Well, we don't expense the same. We don't. They had a lot of expense, but we do got a good finance minister. So
hundreds, thousands, millions, billions. Oh, you are at a trillion right now. You're at a trillion on your debt.
Uh-huh. That's why I was finding it weird that you're saying 1 billion.
Well, that's what that article said. So here you go. There's the debt clock for Canada, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And how fast is it going up?
You can click on the link. I sent you the link in the print.
Yeah, I know. I'm on it. 4,577 per hour.
You should post that. Post that out so people can see this stuff. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. I can't put it in the chat.
Oh,
so
no,
they can see it.
Like I told you, I'm not streaming with 2 screens. I'm streaming.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
That's
so we'll
the
do
only
this
reason why I'm not doing it. Because usually I have 2 screens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take a look at that bad boy. Our Social Security debt is the debt of Canada.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Uh-huh. Oh, for sure, Kai. I know. I understand. But
They did add a Doge clock though.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get this.
And
that's the other thing is they're talking about doing a budget, but the last time we had a balanced budget was so long ago. But what happens when, Putin says, "Nah, screw you. We're not going to do anything. We're just going to keep plugging away at Ukraine." And
Trump's going to have to get mad.
Well, and everybody says that Trump is Putin's little bitch.
Europe is standing. No, one day he's going to have to start saying, "Okay, look, you don't want to listen." But Europe is already on the alert.
But that'll be World War III.
Yeah, but I know. But if Putin says, "The hell with it," that means that's what he wants. And Trump is being friends with him.
And when that happens, you better send all your soldiers to the Northern Territories to back up Alaska and the state of Washington. You better head everybody that way because I guarantee China and Russia are coming over.
I don't know what to tell you. But wait, Europe says that they might go on that end. That's what they're saying. We got that on the news not too long ago. Europe is, France is starting to say that, look, I think we're going to go help out the Ukraine. I think they're going to get in. So there will be a kind of a world war. There's going to have something's going to have to look. Akai.
There's a lot of countries in Europe that are shifting troops right now to go into a defensive position to go in and help Ukraine.
Yeah.
because
World War II,
they're at that point. Poland,
they're not going to let themselves, because after Ukraine, it's them. So
yeah,
World War II, when Hitler was doing this crazy stuff, they let him go for how many years? How many years?
oh, it was years.
He went what, 39 to 45?
World War II. The only reason we got into World War II is because of British spies playing people in the backfield, and Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. Other than that, we probably would not have gone.
But the Canadians were there first.
No.
But yeah, we did get some crap.
But we were isolationists. Back then, the United States was isolation country. We didn't have troops everywhere like we do now. We didn't.
Yeah, but
we were of a mindset of live and let live, and do what you're going to do. But unless it affects us directly, we're not getting involved.
Yeah, but you know how it is. There's always someone's going to say, okay, let's get them mixed up. So Pearl Harbor came, Japanese went boom, boom, boom. Then you guys said, okay, you woke up the giant.
Mm-hmm.
And then you attacked.
Well, and
you took care of Japan. You took care of Japan. And that's
what's going to happen. And that's what's going to happen is somebody's going to do something stupid. A missile's going to land off course, and Poland's going to be like, look, we're done, yo. And then Poland's going to be like, they attacked us again. We're going across the border. We don't care.
Yeah. It's the boring part. But
and then how many more lives?
He's not listening. Look, Trump is trying. He's not listening. I hope that he signs the agreement. But like you said, 30 days, he's going to just use his 30 days to get more stuff in.
Yeah.
He
lost a huge ammo depot today. Huge.
I do not have any confidence in Putin. I don't know how you say it in English again. Putin.
I don't know what Putin's going to do because he has lost so much wealth over this war in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And he's hoping to get Ukraine to offset that.
Yeah.
That wealth, because he's going to need that oil and all those rare earth minerals and all that stuff to pay back the country.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't even believe in him anymore. But they can't do nothing about it.
What are they going to do?
They can't.
If you say something or do something, he's going to kill you.
That's what I'm saying. They can't do nothing about it. But a lot of more, he's getting a lot of more protesting in his country. I don't know.
I was shocked when Ukraine actually went into Russia, and I was kind of surprised it didn't happen sooner. But I know why it didn't happen sooner is because
he wasn't
all the countries who were giving aid were saying, "Don't do that. You do that, we're going to stop giving you aid."
Yeah, but Biden said yes.
Yes.
Now I'm agreeing with you.
Biden said yes. There are things that Biden has done.
The long range missiles, if I remember, is it that?
Yeah.
And then he said, "Okay, the hell with it, go."
Well, they just had another huge drone strike into Russia, and hit some real sensitive areas again, and demolished a bunch of stuff. So.
Yeah, but did you see? They're not killing the people. They're destroying the gas. They're destroying.
The oil facilities, the military facilities. Yeah,
you don't hear them hitting schools, hitting hospitals.
But that's what Russia's doing. Russia's hitting schools. They're using thermobaric munitions. Which is basically like Willie Pete. They're doing all this stuff that by the Geneva Convention is illegal, and they have enough evidence to bring Putin up on war crimes, but it will never happen.
No, he's not going to get out of his country.
And even if he was out of his country, who's going to take Putin down? Who's going to arrest him and bring him to The Hague?
I don't know.
Not
But
that
you
I
know
believe
what?
in The Hague, but I don't believe in the International Court. I think it's a foul. It's a falsehood.
Boy. Okay, guys, it's our time now, ladies and gentlemen.
Is it our time already?
It's already
Wow.
1:05, man. I mean, hey, hit the speech.
If you like and subscribe to our channel, and then please go out to vermlandradio.com, and you can go to our swag shop out there. Everything you purchase or buy out there goes directly back to the station to keep us on the air. We actually don't make any money on this. We actually pay out of our own pockets. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
And I want to say thank you to Ragnar for being there. And yes, Ragnar, I'm proud to be an American, and I do love Canadian whiskey and Canadian maple syrup, but I do love the Quebec one. It's even better.
You're proud to be an American? Yeah. Is that a Freudian slip?
A sweatshirt. It's cold.
Did you hear what you said?
What?
You said you're proud to be an American.
Where did you write that?
You said that.
No, I said I'm proud to be a Canadian. You might be hearing me wrong.
You said you're proud to be an American and you like Canadian whiskey.
I said that?
You better play back the tape.
Okay. I'm getting all mixed up. You're getting after me there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Have a nice one. See you all next week.